been looking at this devastation in Italy, and I guess most people have seen this by now. The 6.6 earthquake and the damage it's done in Italy, and as you can see, a lot of damage there. And I've been looking at the details here, and we can see that there's been I've got this set for the last 7 days. Where am I? Yeah, last 7 days, magnitude 2.5 and above, and you'll see that they're congregated in this area here. Now, it's interesting because there's been a couple of, most people are just going to think, well, earthquakes, but there's been a couple of theories out there that these may have been deliberately caused, and I think this is like quite a big jump for most people. First of all, I want to go to Jim Stone's site, and he would say here that he's reporting that the Israel saying that earthquakes in Italy were retribution. I think he means Italy, but he's saying that this Deputy Minister Cara, which is this fellow here, he's being reported as saying that 2 earthquakes in Italy, during which he was on a state visit to the Vatican, to Italy's he attributes those 2 earthquakes to Italy's decision to vote for a UNESCO resolution disregarding Jewish connection with Jerusalem. Now, this is a pretty big deal that's coming out here, and it's been repeated in RT News, this story. And they explain here that UNESCO had passed a resolution criticising Israel for its handling of the holy site in Jerusalem, called Temple Mount by Jews, and he reckons that let's just go to the end of this one. After recovering from the earthquake, Cara met with the Cardinal Secretary of State Pietro Parolin and tried to convince the Cardinal to change the Vatican's position on the UNESCO decision. Clearly, according to Jim, they didn't do that, and the answer was no, and we're not changing our decision on Palestine. And then the earthquakes resumed a full magnitude higher. And if we have a look here, you'll see back on the 27th here, 26th, 27th, we're getting 26th to 6.1, 26, 4.1, 4.9, 4.2, and then up on 27th, a 4.2, a 4.5, 4.2, up to the 30th. Now we're getting serious, a 6.6, and so they're upping the ante, is what Jim's saying. However, there's also another theory. Those who watch BP Earthwatch will know that he's suggesting that this is a result of a connection between CERN and a place called Gran Sasso, I think it is, which is here, which has got another collider, and they're pushing these, what does he call them, neutrons, travelling from CERN across to this area in Gran Sasso underground via the mountains. And if we have a look out here, and I come out here, just bear with me, my computer's just a little slow, but we'll see that this is in the exact same position. Let's just come out here and just let me show you this for a minute. It's hard because of the way the maps are, but if we can see this little piece of Italy here, and we go to where the latest earthquakes are, and I zoom out, keep going, right, there's that little part there, and as we come in a bit closer, we'll see there's a lake here, and in relation to that, the other collider is about here. I'll see if we can see that on this one. There's the lake. So those earthquakes were just up north of this collider here. So both theories I haven't been able to go any further with, but what I'm saying is that it's a tragedy if it's a man-made whether this is an error as a result of them trying this experiment through the rock, or whether it was in fact retaliation. Someone set off some blasts that have caused an earthquake. I can't tell you, but I think it's important that we at least keep our eye on the ball. That's a pretty crude response if this is if these people are on the right track. I'm sure most people just want to think it as a natural occurrence, but we need to look further these days. Anyway, food for thought. Cheers. G'day guys, just a quick video. Been looking at this devastation in Italy, and I guess most people have seen this by now. The 6.6 earthquake and the damage it's done in Italy, and as you can see, a lot of damage there. And I've been looking at the details here, and we can see that there's been I've got this set for the last 7 days. Where am I? Yeah, last 7 days, magnitude 2.5 and above, and you'll see that they're congregated in this area here. Now, it's interesting because there's been a couple of, most people are just going to think, well,